Lesson 14-2, we are going to do elapsed time, which means how much time has gone by since we started something and ended something. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do, okay? We're going to use, it's called mountains, hills, and rocks. Okay, so mountains look like this, and of course they're the biggest. Hills look like that, and of course they're very big. And then rocks are little ones like that. Little rocks, little rocks. So mountains we use for when hours have gone by. Hills we use for like, maybe it could be 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, just like when a chunk of time has gone by. And then these little baby rocks are for 1 minute at a time. Okay, so mountains are the biggest, then hills, then rocks. Okay, so keep that in mind here. Denise went to see a movie. The movie started at 1:05 p.m. and it ended at 2:35 p.m. How long did the movie last? Okay, so it starts here. This is 1:05 and it ends at 2:35. Okay, we're going to use like a number line. Okay, we're going to put our start time here at 1:05. So pause it and write this down and get caught up. Okay, so our start time is 1:05. We want to keep going with mountains, hills, and rocks until we get to 2:35. So the first thing we're going to do is add an hour, okay? So we're going to hit like this. This is one. You could write it inside. 1 hour. So from 1:05 plus an hour is now 2:05, okay? Then we're going to count by, it's hard to count by tens when you're on the fives, okay? So what you do is just do a hill, and that's gonna be 5 minutes, and that's gonna get us to 2:10, okay? And then we're gonna keep adding 10 minutes. 10 minutes gets us 10, 2:20, another 10 minutes, 2:30, okay? And can I add another 10 minutes? It'd be 2:40. That's too far. So I'm gonna add 5 minutes, and that's gonna be 2:35. Okay, so I started out at 1:05. I added an hour, which is 2:05. Then I added 5 minutes, 2:10, 10 minutes, 2:20, 10 minutes, 2:30, 5 minutes, 2:35. Now all I do is add this up. We have 1 hour, and we got 10, 20, 25, 30, and 30 minutes. So that's how long it was, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Without counting hours and minutes, do you know the movie Denise went to see was less than 2 hours? Well, sure. If it started at 1:05, okay, if we added 2 hours, right, 1 hour and 2 hours, that would be 3:05, right? 2:05, 3:05. So we know that the movie ended at 2:35, which is before it would have been 2 hours. Okay. Janie took part in a charity walk. Go, Janie. The walk started at 7:10 a.m. and it ended at 11:20 a.m. How long did the walk last? Okay, elapsed time is the total amount of time that passes from the starting time to the ending time. So it started at 7:10. Okay, and it ended at 11:20 a.m. So let's use our mountains and our hills. Okay, let's do a little, we're going to use this space right here. Okay, we're going to put our starting time at 7:10 a.m. Okay, and we're just going to start counting by hours. We got 1 hour. Now it's 8:10. Another hour. 9:10. Another hour. 10:10. Another hour. Ooh, that was a big hour. 11:10. Okay, now, if I add one more hour, I'm going to be at 12:10. That's too far. So I'm at 11:10, and I want to get to 11:20. So that's 10 minutes, right, to get to 11:20. So my total time is 4 hours and 10 minutes. Okay. All right. After the charity walk, Janie talked with her friends from 11:25 to 11:40. Then lunch was served from 11:45 to 2:10 p.m. How long did lunch last? Okay, we don't care about talking with her friends. I mean, I'm glad she did it. It's awesome that she enjoyed it, but that's not what they're questioning. How long did lunch last? Lunch was from 11:45 to 2 p.m., 2:10. That is a very, 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 very long lunch. Okay, let's start here. Draw your line. Our start time is 11:45. You can write your end time. It's just hard to match up to it, you know, as far as your jumps and stuff, but it's nice to have it. And even if you end here, you can just erase it and move it over, okay? 11:45. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. We can just add our hours and keep it to 45, okay? We can do that. Or we can start off by adding 15 minutes and get it to the next hour, which then it's a lot easier to count, okay? We know the 11:45, that's right here, that we got 15 minutes until it's 12 o'clock, okay? So I'm gonna do that first, and I'm gonna put a 15 in here and say that it'll be 12 o'clock there. That way I don't have to count by 12:45, 1:45. It's just a little bit, you can do it either way, okay? It's just getting from 11:45 to 12:45 feels like it could be a little tricky, okay? Now we're at 12 o'clock, but in 15 minutes it'll be 12 o'clock. So now we have 1 hour gets us to 1 o'clock. Another hour gets us to 2 o'clock. Now we want to get to 2:10, which is only 10 minutes away. So see, you would just use your eraser and move that over there, okay? So we have 2 hours and 15 plus 10 is 25. So it's 2 hours and 25 minutes. Okay? You can also use a number line to measure elapsed time. Haha, that's what we do. Janie's charity walk lasted 4 hours and 10 minutes. So 7:10, they went 4 hours. I like to do 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, but 1, 2, 3, 4. But you could just do a big jump like that and say it's 4 hours. And then a little hill for the 10 minutes. If a start time is 7:15 a.m. and an end time is 8:05 a.m., why do you not have to count hours for the elapsed time? Well, what is 1 hour past 7:15? 7:15 plus 1 hour is 8:15. Too long. It's less than 1 hour, so we're not going to use our hours, okay? So we're going to do this, and we're going to put our start time at 7:15. We're going to put our end time at 8:05, okay? So if we did an hour, it would get us to 8:15, which is far past that. So we can count like 15 minutes and get to 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock, right? Because we know we can do the 15. Or you can like start out by just doing 5 minutes and get you to 7:20. And then you can go 10 minutes to 7:30, 10 minutes to 7:40, 10 minutes to 7:50, 10 minutes to 8 o'clock, and 5 minutes to 8:05. It just depends where you're at, and everyone's number line is going to look a little bit differently. Some people are very comfortable going 15 minutes is 7:30. Then you get to 7:30 and you know, oh, well, I know it's 30 more minutes till 8 o'clock. So you can do a mountain and put 30 in there instead of getting from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. If you know that's 30 minutes because you can visualize it on a clock and think from here to there is 30 minutes because it's half of an hour, you can certainly do one hill and put a 30 in it and put 8 o'clock right there. Okay, you're going to come up with the same answer. So you have to do what your level of counting, what you're comfortable with. Okay, so we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. Okay, and that is 50 minutes. All right, a movie started at 2:30 and it lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes. What time did it end? So they want us to tell them what time it ended. So let's do 2:30. Let's do 1 hour. That gets us to 3:30. 1 hour. That gets us to 4:30. And then I have to add 15 minutes, okay? So I can do a couple things. Again, where are you comfortable? You might know that in 15 minutes it's there, or you might go 5, 10, 15, or you might want to add 10 and then 5, okay? So I would do 10 minutes, that gets me to 4:40, and 5 minutes gets me to 4:45, okay? So what time did it end? 4:45, okay? Draw arrows on the second clock to count the hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. What is the elapsed time? Okay, so draw arrows on the second clock. It's on there for you. Oh, I don't know what they want you to do. They just want you to count that, okay, they want you to count the number of hours, like from 11 o'clock to go, okay, that's 1 hour, you like this, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I would not do that. That seems like craziness to me. I would go 11 o'clock is what time it is. And we want to know how many hours is it till 5 o'clock. So I would do 1 hour to 12 o'clock, 1 hour to 1 o'clock, 1 hour to 2 o'clock, 1 hour to 3 o'clock, 1 hour to 4 o'clock, and 1 hour to 5 o'clock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What they're saying here is you can count. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's going to show you that it's 6 hours. Be careful, just like all of our number lines, all of our counting. This is your start line. They have not blown the whistle yet. You have not moved. You cannot say, okay, it's been an hour and it's still 11 o'clock. That doesn't work like that. It has to be 1. You have to jump before you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's take a look here. Start time is 6:30 p.m. End time is 9:50 p.m. Okay, I want you to draw your number line. Okay, start time is 6:30. Okay, so end time is 9:50. So 1 hour is 7:30. 1 hour is 8:30. 1 hour is 9:30. So from 6:30 to 9:30 is 3 hours, right? How many minutes from 9:30 to 9:50? Okay, well, let's do 10. This is going to be 9:40 and 9:50. So that's 20 minutes. So the elapsed time is 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay. Now I want you to try number 5, 6, and 7. You're going to need, you can do it down here if you want to draw your lines down here, or you might just need to get a separate piece of paper because it's a little crammed, but you can do it. But you know, math, when you cram things in, it tends to have you make mistakes. So I'd rather you get a new piece of paper and do it that way. So go ahead and pause it and do 5, 6, 7, and then start it again and let me show you what we did. Okay, so for number 5, we have start time is 10 o'clock and end time is 3. So I'm going to do 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Okay, so we got 1 hour, that's 11 o'clock. 1 hour, 12 o'clock. 1 hour, 1 o'clock. 1 hour, 2 o'clock. 1 hour, 3 o'clock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be 5 hours. All right, 9:15 to 10:45. Okay, so we got our start time of 9:15 and our end time of 10:45. Okay, so I'm probably just going to go 1 hour is 10:15. Now I have to get from 10:15 to 10:45. So again, you may look at that and you may in your head know exactly how many minutes that is. And if so, make a little hill and say the number of minutes. Or you might break it up into 30 and then 45 and break it up that way. I would look at this and go, okay, I'm going to get this to a number that ends in 0 because it's way easier to go 20, 30, 40, 50 than that. So I would do a 5 minutes and get it to 10:20 and then 10:30, 10:40, and 5 minutes to 10:45. And so it's 1 hour and 10, 20, 25, 30. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, and then we have start time of 11:30. And they want to know what is the end time. And they're telling us it's 5 hours and 25 minutes. So let's just count. Let's go. 1 hour is 12:30. 1:30. 3, 4, 5, right? Because we need 5 hours. So 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. And then we need 25 minutes. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay? Or you could have gone 10, 10, and 5 too. But 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we got 30. We got 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Okay, so my end time would be 4:55 p.m. Okay, let's take a look at the back. Okay, Mrs. Flores made a list of the times it takes for different items to bake. Which items will take less than half an hour to bake? First of all, you need to know that half of an hour is 30 minutes, right? Because a full hour is 60 minutes. So which of these will take less than 30 minutes? Okay, you should be able to figure that out. There's 3 of them. Okay, which 2 items, when you add their baking time together, takes less time to bake than the pasta dish? Okay, so the pasta dish is 48 minutes. So what 2 ones can we add together that's going to take less than that? So my suggestion is start with the least number of minutes, the smallest numbers, and see if you could add 2 of these 3 numbers together. It's this one, and this one. Which 2 can you add together and they're going to get done quicker in less time than 48 minutes? Okay, so it should be blank and blank. You're going to list 2 of them. Sally finds elapsed time using these clock faces. Okay, remember elapsed time means how much time went by from here to here. So she counts by hours, the hours by 1, but counts the minutes by 5. Why does she count the minutes by 5 instead of 1s? Okay, let's first look at our start time, okay? Let's put your colon there, do your minutes first, 30, and then this, remember this whole space over here belongs to the 3, okay? It's halfway between because this, it was 3 o'clock, now it's 3:30 and it's making its way to 4 o'clock. So it's 3:30, and then our end time is, let's do our minutes first, okay? And remember that it's pointing right here, this whole space here is owned by this 8, which is, so it's 8:45. So we need to figure out, she counts the hours by 1, so she goes, 3:30, she goes 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, okay? And then she has to get from 8:30 to 8:45, and they're asking, well, why does she count by 5s? Well, because she can just go 5, 10, 15. Otherwise, she has to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So she goes 5, 10, 15, and that gets her 35, 40, 45. Okay, so that's 8:45. So it's easier to count by 5s, and plus with the numbers, the numbers represent 5, so it's much easier to count by 5s. Okay, number 11. A basketball tournament started at 12:15 p.m. and ended at 4 o'clock p.m. Did the tournament last more than 4 hours? Well, let's look at this. Okay, if you had 12:15, okay, I want you to add 1, 2, 3, 4. Add 4 hours to that. Remember, your numbers are going to stay 15, 15, 15, and 15, okay? Write down what time this would be, 12:15. And did it end before that? If it ended before that, then the tournament did not last 4 hours. A farmer is selling 744 pieces of produce. He has 162 watermelons, 345 ears of corn, and some avocados. We don't know how many. Write an equation to find out how many avocados the farmer is selling. Let A stand for avocados. Okay, so he has a total of 744 pieces of produce, right? So that's our answer. So he has 162 watermelon plus 345 ears of corn plus the avocados. And if we added all three of those numbers together, if we knew the avocados, we would get 744. Okay, so that's your answer. It doesn't even say you have to solve it. Okay. Geo is taking a train from Carlton to Elgin. The train leaves Carlton at 9:25 a.m. and reaches Elgin at 10:55 a.m. How long does the ride last? Use the number line. Okay, so let's do, look here, they even wrote it for us. 10:25 to 1:25 is 1 hour. And then we have to get from 10:25 to 10:55. So you could do 5 minutes to get to 10:30. And then maybe go 10 minutes, 10:40, 10:50, and then a 5 minute, right? 10:40, 10:50, and 5 minutes to 10:55. So it would be 1 hour. And we have 10, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Bingo. Nice job.